Attention passionate Dallas, Cowboys. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Dallas, COWBOYSFANS. Let's get to the news in the world of the NFL, where every week seems to bring a new shake-up. One of the biggest stories swirling around the Dallas Cowboys right now involves a potential blockbuster move that could redefine their defensive front and significantly boost their championship chances. And it centers around Khalil Mack, the veteran pass rusher currently with the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, this isn't just some rumor. Sources close to Adam Schefter are indicating that there's serious behind-the-scenes activity, with the Cowboys eyeing Mack as a key piece to bolster their defense heading into the 2026 offseason. Let's step back and analyze what's happening. The Cowboys, sitting at a 3-6 record after a rough start, are undoubtedly looking for ways to turn their season around and position themselves as serious contenders come playoff time. Their defense, which has been a concern all year, especially after the trade that sent Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers, is in the spotlight. Losing Parsons was a blow, but it's also opened the door for the Cowboys to think big in the offseason. The plan? Target a player like Khalil Mack, who at 35 years old is still showing flashes of elite dominance and could be the difference-maker Dallas desperately needs. The trade proposal on the table, according to Schefter's sources, involves the Cowboys offering a first-round pick in the 2026 draft, which, by projection, is looking like a top 10 selection, along with a second-round pick in 2027. Now, that's a bold move, but it's one that signals the Cowboys' serious intent to go all in. They're willing to part with valuable future assets because they see Mack as someone who can bring immediate pressure and experience to their front seven, elevating their pass rush from middle of the pack to a feared unit capable of dominating games. Meanwhile, the Chargers are at a crossroads. Despite having a talented roster, they're in a bit of a rebuild mode after the hiring of new coach Harbaugh and the injury to quarterback Justin Herbert. Herbert has been playing through a shoulder injury since Week 6, completing just 8% of his passes with an average of 7.2 yards per attempt, which isn't the kind of production you want from your franchise QB. Los Angeles is also facing cap constraints, with around $14 million in free cap space, but they realize that moving a veteran like Mack could provide some much-needed cap relief and help them rebuild their defensive line with younger players. Now, why Mack? Well, because he's still a force at 35, and his 2025 season has been nothing short of spectacular. Over 9 games, Mack has accumulated 28 solo tackles, 12 assisted, and a total of 40 tackles. He's been a disruptive presence with 7.5 sacks, placing him among the top edge rushers in the league. His ability to pressure quarterbacks, averaging 18 QB hits and 32 pressures, has kept offenses on edge. His PFF grade of 88.4 reflects his high level of performance, and his pressure rate of 24% shows he's still capable of creating chaos in the backfield. Mack's career stats also speak volumes. Over 162 games, he's amassed 108 sacks, and he won Defensive Player of the Year in 2018. His peak was incredible with 19. 5 sacks that season, and he's been a power-plus bend edge rusher ever since. The Chargers, situated in the AFC West, are in a different phase. Despite their talent, they're 4-5 and currently sitting outside the playoff picture. Their main goal appears to be cap relief, saving around $28 million in base salary for 2026 and focusing on youth development along their defensive line. They're prioritizing extensions for their offensive line and avoiding luxury tax on an aging core that's been leaking turnovers. 18 giveaways in just 9 games. Moving Mack makes sense for them, especially as they rebuild around a quarterback like Herbert, who is due for a massive contract potentially worth $200 million. They're looking to reset and focus on developing their young players, particularly on defense, to support a future playoff push. For the Cowboys, bringing Khalil Mack into the fold could be transformative. His ability to instantly bring violence and power to the pass rush has been evident all season. He's been a nightmare for quarterbacks, especially in 2025, with 7.5 sacks and a PFF grade of 88.4. His experience and relentless style of play perfectly complement the Cowboys' defensive scheme, especially with Mazi Smith emerging as a significant contributor with 4 sacks this season. Smith has shown he can hold his ground against the run and rush the passer effectively with a PFF score of 82. Adding even more firepower to an already improving defense. Imagine what this addition could mean for Dallas. The defense, which has struggled at times this year, could leap into the top 10 in sacks with Mac's presence. Currently, Dallas's sacks total is around 22, ranking them in the middle of the league. But with Mac, projections estimate that number could rise to about 38, making them a true threat in the NFC. This kind of pressure not only disrupts opposing quarterbacks, but also creates more turnovers and shortens opponents' drives. The impact on their points allowed would be significant, possibly dropping from their current 28. 2 points per game down to around 20, which is a game changer for a team that wants to compete deep into the playoffs. And let's not forget how this impacts their overall strategy. With Mac in the lineup, Dallas could dial up more blitzes, up to 42% blitz rate, which would be a nightmare for offenses. That aggressive approach, combined with the talent of players like Micah Parsons, who, despite the trade, remains a key piece, could turn Dallas into one of the most intimidating defenses in the league. Parsons, who's been one of the top pass rushers since 2025, would benefit from having a veteran like Mac alongside him, drawing attention from double teams and freeing him to make more plays. Offensively, Dallas's attack would also see benefits. Dak Prescott, who's been solid this season with a 68.1% completion rate, 7.8 yards per attempt, 16 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, would have more time and space to operate. With a stronger pass rush from the opposition, he often has to scramble or throw under pressure. But with Mac adding to the front, Prescott could see quick, clean pockets more frequently. That would translate into more explosive plays, especially with CeeDee Lamb stretching defenses and making big yardage plays. His 812 yards and PFF score of 89. 2 show how vital he is in Dallas's passing game. The red zone, which has been a weak spot at 52%, could see improvement up to 68% efficiency, making Dallas's offense even more lethal in crucial moments. All of these changes could have a ripple effect, not just on the field, but also on the NFC landscape. Dallas's Super Bowl odds, which were at plus 15.0 earlier this season, could see a serious jump, potentially moving to plus 5.0 if they manage to pull off this move. The NFC, which has been somewhat unpredictable this year, now has a clear contender in Dallas if they acquire a player of Mac's caliber. It's about seizing the moment and making a statement that the Cowboys are serious about contending again this year. In addition, the trade could give a boost to other key players, like Micah Parsons, who, despite the trade to the Packers, has historically seen an increase in production against NFC East rivals, with a plus 20% boost in efficiency when facing teams like the Eagles and Giants. This defensive upgrade could be the missing piece to elevate Dallas from good to great, a team that can impose its will on both sides of the ball. Looking at the bigger picture, this move signifies Jerry Jones's willingness to be aggressive. It's a reflection of how he's willing to make bold decisions to keep the Cowboys in the hunt. The desire to save McCarthy's job, the need to strengthen the roster, and the belief in Mac's ability to bring that extra edge. These are all factors that point toward Dallas's relentless pursuit of a Super Bowl. The NFC is ripe for the taking, and with players like Mac, they could be the team that finally breaks through and brings home the Lombardi once again. In conclusion, all signs point towards a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the Cowboys' defense and ultimately their entire season. Khalil Mack's arrival would be a statement of intent. It would demonstrate that Dallas is all in, ready to do whatever it takes to contend. The combination of veteran power, elite pass-rushing ability, and strategic cap management makes this move not just a rumor, but a real possibility that could define the Cowboys' future for years to come. Fans should stay tuned, because the next few months could be some of the most exciting in Cowboys history, with this kind of move potentially making all the difference between a good season and a Super Bowl run. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. Do you think acquiring Khalil Mack can be the move that finally pushes Dallas over the top? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing Mack lining up alongside Parsons and Smith in that fierce Dallas defensive front? Remember, your voice is part of this journey, and we love hearing what you have to say. Don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates and analysis, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news. This is a franchise that's always hungry for success, and with moves like this, they're showing they're willing to do whatever it takes to reclaim their throne in the NFC. Keep the faith, Cowboys Nation, because the best is yet to come.